Yeah. Well, and by throwing health in there with your budget, they try to make it seem like we're doing something that's good for you. It's this whole deal where we know what's best for you, you don't, and you're going to change your habits and your patterns so that you can do things right and be healthier and live longer. Tell you what, you want to make us healthy? Why don't you get rid of the genetically modified foods? Why don't you take all the garbage that you put in our foods that passes down at the FDA and take care of that first?
Well, everything gets passed at the FDA. I mean, all you got to do is have alphabet soup after your name and everything gets passed. Another thing they use is the environment. I mean, you talk about, the environment, claiming that, 70% of our oil consumption, 25% of global warming pollution all comes from driving, and Complete Streets helps reduce that. So again, we're saving the trees, blah, blah, blah. And, this whole thing, Complete Streets, they have a local government kit that you can use to try to implement this locally. Again, it's not the locals saying, we have a need for something, or
Right.
Our citizens have come to us with these concerns.
Yeah.
It's, hey, we got a phone call from the county or the Met Council saying, push this agenda.
Yeah.
And that's really what's happening.
Well, this was a statewide law that was signed into law back in 2010.
Yeah.
Tim Pawlenty signed onto this horrible law saying, hey, let's go ahead with this stuff. And we're not going to mandate it, but we're going to highly encourage it. That's basically what the law says, that we want everybody to move in this direction, and we're not really ready to do it by tyrannical edict yet, but we're going to go ahead and encourage you to do it.
Right. I mean, it's government's way of saying you have to, but you don't have to. Right? I mean, that's how they word it.
Yeah.
And they even, in this local kit here that they have, this local government kit, they have recommendations with how to move forward. And if we bring this here locally, you can see that this is often how things get done in our cities. They recommend creating a task force. And who do they recommend as part of the task force? City staff, elected officials, bureaucrats, all that kind of stuff. Then they take it to a commission, which of course is unelected, appointed by the council. Then they want the council to do a resolution, which is just like the state resolution.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have to do it, but we want to do it.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. And they'll cite that resolution every time you question them. Well, we passed a resolution 2 years ago, blah, 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 blah. And then they adopt this as part of the 2030 plan, or they might call it a master plan, they might call it a comprehensive plan. Every city has one. They're not always easy to find on their websites, by the way. And this is how this stuff gets sneaked in. They don't say, hey, have a big meeting with all your people and see what they think about it. No, it's create a task force of unelected people, give it to a commission. Nobody will hear about it until it's time to pass it.
Right.
Isn't that how cities do business?
That's exactly how they do it. They talk about it in work sessions, and before you know it, hey, I had never heard about this. Oh, we've been planning on it for 10 years.
Yeah.
And and that's the thing. I mean, whether it's state aid roads or and Hennepin County is signed on as a Complete Streets county as well. County roads, they hold it over your head. If you want us to fix this road, yeah, you're going to have to do it our way.
Right.
And that's what happened with County Road 81 in Crystal. It's a county road. Hennepin County said, here's how we want to do it, because we want to bring in light rail. We want to bring in room to bike and walk. And
regional trail.
Regional trail that goes right alongside of it.
Districts involved. The Met Council's involved. Blah, blah, blah.
The road was falling apart, and they said, we're not going to touch it unless you do it our way.
Well, and then you add to it, if you actually look at that road, I'd like to meet the person who designed that. You drive, if you're going southeast into Robbinsdale, it's 6 lanes, then it goes into 4, then it has a turn lane and a huge empty space right there. Then there's another light, which that they put in that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
Then they have another turn lane with another empty lane. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And remember, we got 20 to 30 homes torn out of there, and they didn't even widen the road.
Yeah.
Of course, that's for their light rail, right?
Right.
That's eventually going to go in. But they also try to get you to speak a certain language. That's another big thing. They have samples of how to write a letter to the editor, what kind of things to use. Encourage street connectivity, and specify that this is for all users. We're all inclusive here. Establish performance standards. Apply new and retrofit projects. I mean, this is all just gobbledygook. But if you see phrases like this, you'll know where it came from. Nobody at City Hall comes up with something like this. This is, come on, you can't give them that much credit. It comes from somebody else. They get a resolution on how to talk, and then you'll hear the same things over and over. And here's another thing. They have a coalition of members. Everybody from every environmental group to the Met Council to the AARP, American Heart Association, bicycle alliances. They have cities. They have counties. They have hospitals. I mean, fitness
MnDOT.
groups, MnDOT, the Department of Transportation, Urban Land Institute, Twin Cities Streets for People.
As opposed to Twin Cities Streets for Animals?
Yeah. They have specific council members, redevelopment authorities. I mean, you name it, it's on here as a coalition. I mean, again, another, just like Botno Boulevard, another group made in hell.
Yeah.
It's
how many people can we gang up on you before you know about it so that you're overwhelmed by the time you want to do anything? And if you live in this area, I mean, thank goodness it's St. Louis Park, New Hope, and Hennepin County are the three that are involved in it at this level.
Yeah, Brooklyn Park might be a little bit too.
Yeah, they might be a little bit too. But for those that aren't, they have like a second tier called Active Living Hennepin County, ALHC, and you can find that on Hennepin County's website.
There's another phrase, encourage active living.
Hennepin.us/active living. And there's a partnership of cities, businesses, state and local agencies. Hennepin County, same stuff, different name is all it is. And it was unanimously passed. So everybody, Steinglen, Johnson, OPAT, they all said, let's do it. And again, this is top-down government. Places should be designed to provide everyone opportunities for safe, convenient, and affordable physical activity with mixed-use development, roads, transit, biking, walking. Transit and trails should provide convenient and affordable access to housing, employment, schools, and services. We've got Brooklyn Park, we've got Crystal, we've got Golden Valley, New Hope, Robbinsdale, St. Louis Park, the Met Council, MnDOT, 281, Three Rivers Park. I can go on and on. Transit for Livable Communities, they're all involved in this.
So they're supporting complete streets without a specific complete streets policy.
Yes.
Because New Hope has a complete streets policy.
Yes, they do.
And again, it's worded in, well, we don't have to do this, but we probably will. And they use, again, the same language. I mean, listen to the first sentence right here. You can find this at www.ci.newhope.mn.us. And if you just click search, it's part of their 2030 plan. You can find it on there too, which is 761 pages. So check your hard drive before you download it. The 2030 plan, I mean, not the complete streets. But I mean, look at it. It's 20 pages of what they want to do. Mm-hmm. And, my worry again is that Winnetka will get redone, that Bass Lake Road west of Winnetka, by the golf course and all that, because they want to put senior housing. I don't know who's going to live in all this housing. We don't have enough people for the houses we already have, yet these people in city keep putting up housing. But listen to the first sentence. The complete streets promote streets that are designed and maintained to be safe and accessible to all users of all ages and abilities, including pedestrians, transit riders, bicyclists, and drivers. Where have we heard that before? I think I heard you say that 5 minutes ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, where do you think they took that sentence from? It's all just the same gobbledygook. They talk about the National Complete Streets Coalition. There's a national group that is pushing this. I mean, we're citing mncompletestreets.org. There's a national one, and you can find them at completestreets.org.